The Last Dragon is the 1985 mega blockbuster hit movie where they showed the world the 80s were fucking awesome. It starts off like every other day in the 80s with practicing martial arts and gymnastics while a crazy old man shoots arrows at you like a dick. But people weren't giant pussies back then, and it was actually a sign of respect. As a reward for not dying, the old man gives him a Spider-Man belt buckle and tells him to fuck off.
Go. Go.
We see early on, just by the way he dresses, that this guy has a clear mental disability. After awkwardly showing off his belt buckle to random strangers, he goes to the movies to watch Enter the Dragon. That shit came out 13 years earlier, but it's still fucking packed on a Tuesday afternoon. These guys bring their boombox and just start breakdancing in the aisle when this guy just fucking smashes it. Holy shit, the 80s were so goddamn awesome. And they got even better when sho'nuff showed up.
Shogun of Harlem.
The first thing he does is establish dominance by beating the shit out of this small child. Then he spots our boy eating popcorn with fucking chopsticks and tries to find out what the hell his deal is.
Those who are bound by desire see only that which can be held in their hands.
What?
But he ain't got time for this, so he challenges the entire theater to a fight.
Why don't these 50 of you come down here?
And God bless them, they accept. Even these two, who I'm pretty sure are at the wrong movie. After witnessing his highly advanced martial arts skills, he does the smart thing and gets the fuck out of there. Because that was just so normal. The movie doubles down on its normalcy and plays a music video that has nothing to do with anything. But don't worry, it only goes on for like 3 minutes. But then we get whatever the fuck this is for another 3 minutes. Thankfully, that ends, and on her way home, she tells the driver to stop so she can randomly assault these nice businessmen. But wouldn't you know it, they were coming to kidnap her.
Come on, get her in here.
It's funny how things work out sometimes. She puts up a fight, and after witnessing such incredible martial arts twice in one day, he believes it's a sign and jumps in to help.
I would not do that if I were you.
None of them want to be known as the one that beat up a guy with special needs, so they just play along. Way to go, you really got him good. This whole thing makes them all so uncomfortable, they just fucking bail. That was officially the weirdest shit she's ever seen, and frankly, he creeps her out more than they did.
Wow.
And to top it off, he jacks her makeup and then fucking disappears.
Did you see where that guy went?
I don't know, what? You getting in or what?
But two can play at that game, so she jacks his Spider-Man belt buckle. Then we find out the Kidnappers were sent by Frank Reynolds in order to help launch Kate Pearson's solo career. Obviously. But what's even crazier is he somehow runs his own martial arts school.
Escape. Great.
It's bad enough he insists on dressing like Uma Thurman, but none of his students even know how to fight. Except for Johnny, who's a goddamn all-star. That's when sho'nuff finally finished kicking everyone's ass in the theater and shows up with some unfinished business.
Come on, Leroy. Teach me something.
Look, you have to pay a fee, sign some waivers. There's a whole process here.
I would love to peel this banana.
He can't tell if she's threatening or flirting, but either way, he really wishes he wore the Pulp Fiction outfit instead. That's when Johnny sees what's going on And he's batshit crazy, not stupid, so this time it's sho'nuff who bails. It's the next day, and he sees that bitch that stole his Spider-Man buckle on TV.
That is her.
And begs his 45-year-old little brother to take him to her.
You must take me to see her.
But the young old guy refuses,
You're too weird.
unless he can do it in a way that demeans Leroy, but at the same time makes himself look like a toddler. Now that they both look like idiots, the brother's job is done. Just then, the thieving bitch shows up and is kidnapped again. Only this time, it actually works, and she's taken to Frank, who blows everyone's mind when he plays Kate's music video about a woman finding her boyfriend's porn. It was a brave and inspirational story
Underneath your mattress,
that desperately needed to be told.
Polaroids do suggest she's not an actress.
But all she can do is sit there like a stuck-up bitch because Kate's clearly the next big thing while she's a talentless hack. Luckily for her, they get interrupted.
Who the hell is this guy? We didn't order out.
Even though food delivery in the 80s was usually done by ninjas who would explode your fucking door, they realize something's just not right when he starts throwing quills into people's hands. It turns out it's actually him who saw the second kidnapping and has been chasing after her this entire time. After taking the henchmen out with a combination of their own stupidity and nut shots, they figure they've definitely seen the last of them and just go home. She tries to reward him,
You thirsty?
but he just wanted Spider-Man back, and now she can eat shit.
I must go.
Because he can't pick up on social cues, he's back to harassing strangers with what is now a Spider-Man necklace when these officers tell him that fucking off is that way. Then he comes across these guys who are just on another level.
Please, I must see the master.
Ain't no masters here, dude. Ain't no slaves either.
So he goes back to the cops to report he just got fucking murdered. Now the movie finally gives us what we want. Sho'nuff being fucking awesome.
I was told I could find Leroy Green here.
They tell him, sorry sir, this is a pizza place, but he doesn't want to hear it. The only thing he enjoys more than wrecking pizza joints is assaulting the elderly and children. When the brother shows up, he can finally do all three at the same time. Then he caps it off the most awesome way possible.
Shut up, bitch.
Now his work here is done. He'll see you all tomorrow. Later, she shows up, and it becomes clear that neither of them can take a fucking hint.
It would be a great idea if I got myself a bodyguard, you know? Guard my body.
Maybe she's just being too subtle.
You sure look like a master to me.
Look, he doesn't have time for your riddles, gypsy lady, and Johnny's here now,
Excuse me.
so get the fuck out. In a shocking twist, it turns out they haven't seen the last of Frank, and he's building a team to take Leroy out. Which seems unnecessary, since they already have the man himself.
And I will gladly designate his ass.
Can't wait to see what the fuck that means. Then the movie gives us another twist, and right when we believe he's starting to act like a normal human being, he's not. It's actually her who's been sucked into his world of crazy.
I'll be right back.
Not only does she dress like this now, but she's changed her show from this
Never say never.
to this, which is actually a massive improvement. But right then, he thinks of the perfect comeback for this.
Ain't no slaves either.
Why did I not think of that before?
So he tells her to eat shit again and just fucking leaves. That comeback is busting through the door and telling them he'll fucking kill them if they don't give him what he wants, which it turns out is fortune cookies. While he's out there being a complete psycho, she gets kidnapped again. When you get kidnapped twice and don't file a police report or anything, then the third one's on you. Anyways, he comes to rescue her again, and with his ninja skills, he's basically invisible. Just kidding. Leroy! He's spotted immediately like a fucking idiot. Now Frank sends his henchmen, including David Carradine, to attack him and are beating his ass. When we find out that Kate realized how stupid it was to try a solo career before the B-52s took off in the first place.
I'm not Jewish.
So she ditches Frank and tells Johnny his plan, which is why Johnny shows up to save the motherfucking day, along with little Kino. Now that those two got that shit on lock, it's time for Leroy to finally face sho'nuff, who turns on his glowy hands and proceeds to rip him a new asshole. After beating him senseless for a while, he moves on to drowning him and won't stop until he tells him who the real master is. It's not until he's almost unconscious that he's finally able to see who the true master has been all along. While he had absolutely zero context for any of this, he didn't give a shit, and with this running through his mind, sho'nuff is show fucked. Fueled by visions of splits and spin kicks, even his glowy hands say fuck that and sputter out. Pizza joints across the nation rejoice as sho'nuff is finally defeated. But you know Frank, he loves blasting, and that's exactly what he does. It turns out he actually ate the bullet or some shit. It's hard to care now that sho'nuff is dead. Then finally, somebody called the police, which they should have done in the first fucking place. And these two go off to have crazy and stupid babies.